Dear friends, first of all, let me apologize that I'm not with you face to face in this opening session. But due to my domestic obligations and a very severe flu process, I couldn't donate. But by this video, I wish to transmit you a message of hope, a message of optimism, and a positive message to push the process towards success. We are, and you know, in a key time. We are in a time in which it is in our hands to move this process forward. We are in a time in which we should maintain the optimism, the goodwill, and the confidence to reach the objective. So because of that, we should harvest what we had seeded. We should work strongly to create the basis for the success, and we must see an agreement in Paris as a possible and feasible outcome. Let me talk briefly about the negotiation, about the engagement of non-state actors, and about the process. First, in relation to the negotiations. We are in a negotiating time. It is very important to have that on mind. This is the negotiating time. So we should work based on what we had done before in Lima and in Geneva in the last February. We urge all parties and negotiating groups to meet bilaterally and to consult, searching for common ground on all the important issues. We encourage all parties to work based on the principles of transparency, inclusiveness, and confidence to have in Paris a very strong outcome, an agreement that can deal with climate change consequences and launch the process for the future. In our view, such an outcome could contain, in whatever language you will agree, a set of key components such as the following. A core instrument that is universal, legally binding, and durable, however it is called, even if it encompasses varying legal force for its components and provide flexibility for different national circumstances. Some form of long-term goal which confirm the 1.5–2 degrees of temperature limit and establish a global objective of climate or carbon neutrality and encourage national pathway for low carbon development. Mitigation commitment to prepare, communicate, implement, and report periodically the national determined contributions on the basis of the principle of progression with flexible and evolving rules for review and accounting, and a facilitative process to encourage the fulfillment of national objectives. The acknowledgement of the first set of INDCs and the decision to register them in some multilateral framework as we move toward the ratification of the agreement. A long-term qualitative goal for adaptation to give vision and purpose to resilient development around the world. Commitment to prepare and implement national adaptation plans to establish a global process of cooperation to fill the institutional, knowledge, technological, and financial gaps for adaptation actions. Substantial progress on climate finance to improve the definitions and methodologies for accounting to reinforce the existing monitoring and review mechanism for the provision of support to ensure the efficient disbursement of resources by the Green Climate Fund, to explore in the future new possible aggregate financial target at a global, sectorial, or regional level, and to promote in the corporate banking and insurance sector climate-sensitive portfolios. The reinforcement in the Paris outcome of the institutional arrangement and international cooperation to deal with issues of loss and damages, in particular risk management, insurance schemes, rehabilitation measures, and related humanitarian issues. The launching of a global effort to scale up radically the technology and capacity building support to developing countries for climate action. And finally, the acceleration of pre-2020 climate action through the fulfillment of existing obligations and the engagement of subnational private sector and civil society around the world as well as the decision to pursue the treatment of the Work Stream 2 issues both before and after 2020. These are just examples. They don't cover the whole range of important matters. However, we are convinced that in one form or another, a convergence on this issue is necessary and possible. Second, in relation with a sincere and transparent dialogue between state and non-state actors. As you know, I made the mobilization of climate action a central pillar of my term as COP president from the outset, and feel that we together managed to push the action agenda forward in Lima. Building on the momentum from the Secretary General Summit, the Lima Call for Climate Action was adopted in that Lima spirit. But we also needed to maintain that positive momentum all the way to Paris. That is why I joined forces with my friend, the Minister Laurent Fabius, with the Secretary General, and with Christiana and their respective teams under the banner of the Lima-Paris Action Agenda. We want to carry the torch of climate action all the way to Paris. But even this will not be enough. I have seen the commitment of so many stakeholders who are already acting on climate change and who want to continue and even increase their engagement beyond Paris, in support of the effort of national governments. Therefore, Paris needs to embed this action-oriented approach into the paradigm of progress in the UNFCCC. Climate action needs to become a part of the DNA of the convention process and can't depend on initiative of future presidents. The COP in Paris will need to clarify how we continue this effort beyond Paris. In my view, Paris needs to formally recognize action by all actors at all levels, catalyze further action and cooperative initiative, assess the results and impacts of this initiative. Also in Lima, we launched the Nazca portal, the non-state actors zone for climate action, to begin to record such action. Nazca must continue to grow in its capacity to reflect the action of cities, regions, corporations, and investors. In addition, you may want to consider annual showcasing events as well as an annual report on progress on non-state climate action. I look forward to cementing the Peru-France legacy of climate action. Let me say to all of you, with my heart, that we want to leave a very strong legacy as part of the COP20 and COP21 that promote and create the strong basis for a transparent dialogue between state and non-state actors. Let me ask to all of you all your support. Third, finally, in relation to the process, I want to highlight the excellent collaboration that Peru and France have developed this year. Peru supports a strong leadership of France as incoming presidency of COP20 CMP11. Our two governments are exchanging views very regularly on the process and the substantial issues. We are also actively consulting all of you on your expectations for Paris, including through the joint organization of open-ended dialogues with negotiators to identify priorities and possible landing zones. Every step in this process, in its formal or informal meeting, should be considered a good and strong step toward a success. I'm sure that we can reach the objective. I'm sure that we will celebrate the success in Paris, and I'm sure that the world will recognize to all of you, delegates, negotiators from around the world, because of your effort and dedication. The success of Paris, the success of the COP21, the success of France will be the success of the world. Thank you very much.